I'll start with you on this one, Alan Miller. Do you worry, are we kind of tiptoeing back into the land of the ridiculous when it comes to the restrictions or not?
Oh, I think it's an absolute aberration that they should extend measures. I think Jackie Bailey's right on this. Labour in opposition saying it's like a Frankenstein bill and it's a power grab. I just wonder why actually Labour were so happy to do so much in Wales under Mark Drakeford. We've seen measures that have been very damaging that have come out from reports now. We've seen the Johns Hopkins University discussion on lockdowns and restrictions, what they said, MPIs. We've seen that generally those impositions have been very damaging in terms of education, health, business. We're now in a cost of lockdown, cost of living crisis. And politicians, MSP's decision is to extend the potential for state overreach and to impose things. This should not be part of a policy repertoire. It's an we've got so many measures to deal with the problems that have been caused as a consequence of these things. And
but do you think that's even been accepted? Do you think people have fully accepted that some of the problems that we've got in society now are a direct correlation, have been caused because of the lockdown restrictions? Yeah,
I don't think that they have. I think there are... Look, it's certainly the case that since the 70s, through the decades, our wage growth has been sluggish, from 3% to 1.5%, and then for several decades low. We've had issues with productivity. No one's really wanted to discuss it. However, there's an attempt to present this all as being about Ukraine and shutting the economy down for 2 years, pretty much. What that has had consequences in terms of health, society, and our economy, particularly when we haven't been particularly dynamic and robust before that. All the opportunities that were presented a couple of years ago before this have been diminished, and we've really got to get to grips with this. One thing, though, I mean, Boris did say that at the moment, sometimes it can be presented that he's got a plan that he wants to implement things. It's slightly different to the MSPs extending this. But it should never be part of a policy repertoire. The public needs to make its voice heard with their MPs and nationally with government. It's very important. That's why Together Declaration, Together, we've always made the point that it's going to be the public asserting themselves and making sure their voice is heard, because that's the way that MPs and that's the way that people that run the country get a sense of things. And I think it's really important that we do that and don't allow a situation where we have, when in doubt, regulate and impose, because we're going to see a really tough autumn and winter. I'm very concerned about what's happening. Unless we get out with a can-do approach that isn't about imposing and restricting, but it's about opening up society, developing a dynamic situation with our economy, we're going to be in severe trouble.